kind of like this kid. And that's when it all started. To get this drilled down, nobody's going to be able to stop you. This kid come from me. Who is
Seriously.
it? And I became the MVP of that camp, and they were like, that kid is the best thing we've ever seen. I promise to be in your life, not for the next 4 years only, but the next 40 years or until I die. I will be in your life. You and I will be together.
Welcome to From My Welcome to From My View podcast, brought to you by the partners at Community Marketing. We are your hosts, Madison and Michelle, and we are so excited to share this with you.
So, Harold Pressley grew up in
Mystic.
Yes, Connecticut, where his passion for basketball and his impressive height set the stage for a standout future. He attended Villanova University and after graduating was selected in the first round of the 1986 NBA draft by the Sacramento Kings, where he played 4 seasons.
Yes.
Am I right?
Yes.
Okay. From there, this All-American has gone on to build a life full of incredible experiences. He's here to share more about his career, family, and love for travel. Let's go. Please welcome, let's go. Welcome, Harold, to From My View podcast.
And now. Well, let's make a small correction.
Oh, wow.
6'8", average. You said extraordinarily height. No, it's only average in the NBA.
Really?
I'm only average.
I thought that was impressive.
Well, you know, if I was hanging out with some of my friends, it would be impressive because they're short. but with the NBA guys, I'm only average.
It's
Really?
I
Average
still
size,
thought that 6'8" was tall even for the NFL.
No, average. In fact, the one of my first week of practice, I kept driving into the basket and getting hit by the big guys, and the coach stopped the game and he just said, "Hey, listen, it was practice." He says, "If you want to make it in the NBA, you're going to have to learn to shoot from the outside because they're too big inside." And I'm like, okay, yeah, they are pretty big. I'm only average.
You're only
So then what would be like the taller end then? Like the big guys?
Quite a few guys are 7'2", 7'2", anywhere from 7 feet tall to 7'2"-ish. You know, there's some bigger. There's been a 7'8" guy in the NBA. Shaq is about 7'1", I believe, 7'1", 7'2". And I remember talking to him down at the hotel downtown. And I'm talking to him. My friends are supposed to meet me at the hotel, so they're walking, and they just keep walking past because I'm talking to Shaq on this side. They could not see him. He was so massive they couldn't see me.
Really?
Well, he's not just tall, he's a big dude.
Yeah.
Yes,
That's
and
true.
I was like, "Guys, where you going?" And they started laughing. We didn't see you.
It's
We didn't see you.
That's hilarious.
imagine if like they're trying to find me. I mean that's I'm sure they're all you're lost.
That's your 3
Yeah,
legs.
Yeah, right. Right.
There she is.
That's too funny.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. So were you how big were you when you were born?
I don't
you know?
I know Mom said that I came out at a decent size, but nothing
Nothing.
that would say that I was going to be 6'8".
What about your siblings?
They're, my older brother is about 6'2", and the youngest brother is about 6'1".
Oh, they're
I
average.
have a sister that's 5'9" and a sister that's 5'8". So
Okay.
there was only one other person in the family that had any size. My dad is 6'3",
Okay.
but my great uncle was 6'6".
Okay.
That would be the only one.
Okay.
Grandmother was a tiny little thing.
Yeah.
Other than that, I had to ask Mom a couple of times. I said, you know, if I didn't look so much like you, I would have to say that I was adopted, but I look so much like you. So what happened? I don't know. You take after. It was her favorite uncle. So you take after my favorite uncle. I said, well, were you able to call him your favorite back then? She said, everybody knew he was my favorite.
Oh,
Okay.
that's so
That's great. So your early childhood, did you have skills like basketball skill? Were you like?
Oh, you're gonna love this. I sucked.
Really?
I have a cousin named Nate that lives in Dallas, and the first thing he said was, "Harold, you sucked. What? How'd you get so good? You didn't even like playing because we go to each other's house every weekend."
Okay.
And I'm like,
Okay.
I want to play football. And it's like, well, we got to play basketball. Let's play some basketball first. And I'm like, wow, you are awful.
You were
So
Really?
I didn't start playing. As a matter of fact, the fifth grade came around, and I had some friends that said, come on, let's try out for the basketball team. Like, and I went out for a weekend. Mom and dad were actually getting a divorce at that time. And so he was gone. He was living across town, whatever. Mom would have to leave work to pick me up after practice. Oh, she was so tired. I could see it was so draining on her that I said, I'm not playing. Mom, I'm not going to play this. I'm not playing. And I didn't play that year. The next year, I grew about, I think I grew about 6 inches from being a fifth grader to a sixth grader.
Yeah.
And the coach says, please, just play one game. If you play one game and you don't like it, I promise you I won't bother you. I won't say another word. Just please play one game. And I said, okay, I'll do that. I played the one game. The first game I played, I had like 28 points and 22 rebounds. And I was like, I kind of like this game. And that's when it all started. Going into the seventh grade, they would not let the seventh graders play with the team, and they only have one team.
Yeah.
It was a seventh, eighth, and ninth grade middle school, seventh, eighth, and ninth. So seventh graders were not allowed to play, no matter how good you were. So the coach was like, you just can't play on this team. Like, all right, so I played rec league, and I really enjoyed the team. We won the championship, and I grew a couple more inches. So now I'm 6'4", going into my freshman year.
Wow.
And
That's
I actually had a decision to make, whether to stay at the middle school or play freshman year at the middle school, or change into a Catholic school and playing at Uncasville, St. Bernard's High School in Uncasville, playing as a freshman on the varsity team for high school.
Yeah.
That was my choice. And I had some really wonderful friends. One that she was older. She was the same year as my sister, and she went to the local high school, and she told me, you're not coming here. So why? What's wrong with this school? It's just, there's too many girls, there's too many drugs, there's too much alcohol, you're not coming here. And I'm like, oh, okay. I actually took a visit to St. Bernard's High School and met the coach. His name was Rich Payuka. And instantly, I just fell in love with this guy. He loved basketball, but I could tell he loved people. So it was an easy choice to take that route and go to the Catholic school as a freshman, rather than staying in the middle school and being, not experienced in the whole high school thing. And so it was heaven sent, because it turned out to be so beautiful. I started practicing each and every day, and the coach would actually stick around in the summertime, and he made me do one drill the entire time. He said, get this drill down. Nobody's going to be able to stop you. And I learned that all summer long.
That's great.
I got into the high school and had a tremendous freshman year of high school. Tremendous, where I played in some tournaments, and I was the MVP, and all the kind of stuff started happening good. So what I did from there was I decided to go to every summer basketball camp I could so I could learn. Again, I didn't start till the sixth grade.
Yeah.
So I wanted to learn everything I could about basketball. I would sit there and watch. When I didn't play, I would watch the other players, and I would watch the guards, because the guards look cool. The big guys were kind of clumsy, but the guards look cool.
They look
I'm like,
cool,
I want to do that. I don't care about that. I know I'm the biggest guy in the court, but I want to do that. So I would learn how they would dribble, how they would run, how they would stop and steal the ball, and all that little thing. I would just really concentrate on what they were doing. And so I got pretty good.
Yeah.
I became a high school all-state player as a sophomore, junior, and then a high school All-American as well. Primarily because I was able to travel and play at different basketball camps. So we didn't have all the AAU as they had now. We only have one team in Connecticut, and they only travel once a year. So I played in that in Maine. But we got to see all the other players come to this camp called Five Star back east. It was in Pennsylvania. And all the stars, and remember, I was going into my sophomore year. So we had the juniors and the seniors that were coming to this camp. So I saw all these guys that were a couple of years ahead of me, and they were monsters. They were so good that you had the Patrick Ewing, you had the Michael Jordans, you had Ed Pinkneys, you had all these players coming here, and I'm like, this is so cool. I get to learn from some great players and play against them.
So imagine that.
And
So was this during the summer?
this is
or-
summer.
Okay.
This
Okay.
is
Gotcha.
summer.
It was the camp when you would
It's
go.
summer camp.
Summer
Basketball
camp, okay.
So I went to 6 camps that summer just because I wanted to learn. And
camps.
Mom was so wonderful.
And she's like, yeah, do it.
I said, Mom, I don't want anything. I don't want clothes. I don't want anything. I just need one pair of shoes that I can play and one outfit to go to school. Because Catholic school, you had to wear pants and a tie.
Yeah.
So I don't even care what the shirt looks like.
Yeah. Yeah.
As long as I have the collar,
Yeah.
I will wear it. I just want to go to camps. And she's like, well, we're going to make it happen. At this time, my mom met the man that she married named Russell. And he was wonderful. He walked in and said, this is my children. I'm going to take care of them as they were my own. And he was so sweet. From day one, he would actually work and rotate. See, he was working for Pfizer, a chemical company, making pills and stuff. Well, at the rotate shifts, so you work the 9 to 5, and if you rotate the next week or 10 days later to the 4 to 12, and if you rotate it like that, you made more money. So he did that.
So he worked like that so he could make more money so you could go to camp.
I could go to camp.
Oh my
Yeah.
goodness.
Yeah.
Wait.
What a wonderful human being.
Right?
Wow. So that is amazing.
Yeah.
So, oh my gosh. Okay. So keep going because I love this story.
Is fascinating.
Yes, it was.
So how many years did you go to camp?
I went to camp every year from the
Fresh-
freshman year through my senior year. Now I went to camp in my senior year, the biggest one. Five Star got a little upset with me because I decided that I wanted to go 1 week to camp in San Diego. It was I can't remember what the name of the camp was, but it was the biggest camp on the West Coast.
Okay.
And I wanted to compete against the West Coast people because I know the East Coast.
Yeah.
I wanted to play and see what kind of style they play. And the Five Star camp told me, if you go to that camp, you will not be a high school All-American. And I was like,
Why?
I really don't care. I don't care about being. I just really cared about. I just wanted to play, and I didn't care if I was an All-American or not. I just wanted to play. So I was like, "Hey, you do what you want. If you don't want me to come, okay." But I'm going to this camp. So I didn't go to Five Star for the first time, and I went to this camp, and I actually just blew everybody away. It was the best players from the whole West Coast region that came to
Yeah.
this camp. And it was phenomenal that
So
I just
You just
I
outplayed
blew 'em.
everybody.
They had no
They were like,
clue
"Who
what-
is this
Where did
kid?"
this kid come from? And who is he?
Seriously.
And I became the MVP of that camp, and they were like, "That kid is the best thing we've ever seen."
Oh my
And
goodness.
it turned out to be just one of those weeks that everything that could go right went right. And the team that I played with, the coach was like, "You be the point guard." Now,
You're the point guard.
I'm the point guard.
And you're how tall?
At
'Cause
this point,
point guards are usually,
I'm 6'6".
you know.
So I'm on the team, and
Yeah.
I'm probably the biggest one. I think I was the biggest guy on that team. But remember, I wanted to learn all the
You wanted
artists.
Yeah, you wanted to learn
Like,
positions. Yeah.
let's go. So I just tore up the camp, and it turned out great. Unfortunately, I couldn't play the very last game, which was the All-Star game, because I sprained my ankle in the last game of the camp. And obviously, the All-Star game is right after all the guys who became the top players would play in the All-Star. I couldn't play in that. I was on crutches. I'm in San Diego on crutches, and we got a couple of extra days. My high school coach and 2 of my players who were also seniors came with us. So we're going to see San Diego. We want to go to the zoo.
Yeah.
I'm on
Oh, that's
crutches
neat.
walking around the zoo.
Oh.
Oh no.
But again, my only thing was I want to play basketball. I really don't care about all the other stuff that's going on around. And I never did. Even to this day, I could care less. I just wanted to be where I'm at.
Yeah.
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 So,
That's
Wow,
awesome.
I
Well,
love that.
Well, you first started that you wanted to play football.
I
Did you
love-
ever want to go back to football at all?
I wanted to play football so bad. I was so deeply in love with football.
Uh-huh.
Growing up in Connecticut, that was a big football place. So we were in between, exactly in between Foxborough, where the Patriots play, and the Giants. So we were right there in between. It was pretty much an equal distance to either place. But I went to a little elementary school right down the street from the house in Mystic that all the people just was in love with football. And so every Sunday it was shut everything down. We would play football before the games came on.
Yeah,
Games came on at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So we would shut everything. We would just play until the games. As soon as the games came on, everybody went back to their homes and they watched football. And everybody had to pick a team.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I was the last person to come to this school because we moved from New London. Our house burnt down in the 3rd grade. We moved from New London to Mystic. And by the time I got there, all the teams were selected. Everybody had to pick a team. You couldn't have the same team as other people that liked because it was like a competition as you play against each other. So somebody loved Miami, another person loved the Giants. And
gotcha.
I got stuck with the Patriots.
Okay.
And I say stuck because they were really bad back then.
Back then. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So I was really a closet Patriot fan.
Okay. Okay.
So I kind of hopped on. Somebody had to move from the neighborhood who had the Pittsburgh Steelers. So I was the one who grabbed the Steelers. And then the Steelers went on that little run of 4 Super Bowls in a row in the 70s. Well, I was at the elementary school. So I was a champ.
Yeah.
Our little Pee-wee football league was called the Mystic Patriots. And I played in that in the 6th grade. I played in the 5th and 6th grade. And I was excited to play in the 7th grade. And unfortunately, I had a friend who had a skateboard. And I decided to take the skateboard down a big old hill. And as I'm going down the hill, it starts to wobble. And I fall off the skateboard and I break 3 ribs. I just fractured 3 ribs on the sidewalk. And all I remember was asking the ambulance, am I going to die?
Oh.
It hurt so much. I'm like, am I going to die?
I'm gonna die. Oh,
They
yeah.
laughed.
Yeah, good.
They laughed. I remember them laughing. No, you're not going to die.
But your ribs.
Oh, it was
I can
so
only
painful.
Yeah, you
imagine.
can't take a deep breath. It's
Yeah.
terrible. Yeah.
All they gave me was pills, pain medication. It was the first time I ever took any pain medication. So I was so out of it. I was so very out of it. Again, this is 7th grade.
Yeah, you're a little kid.
Yeah.
And at that time, I went from whatever size I was to 6'3".
Okay.
So I think I went about either 5 or 7 inches that I grew that summer. The time that I had the broken ribs.
Okay.
So I went to bed with pajamas on. I went to the bathroom early one morning. I wake up and I'm like, what is going on? I had flutters on, like the movie Big.
Yeah.
I just grew. While I was in bed for that week, I was so out of it. I woke up and my parents were like, there's something different. What's going on? And I almost hit my head on the door as I was walking out of the bedroom to get to the bathroom. I'm like, what is going on?
You grew.
I grew in that week. I grew 5 to 7 inches in that week.
My
But no growing pains. I had absolutely
Yeah, I
no
was gonna
growing pains.
ask. So you have no
Well,
pain.
there
Well,
was-
because you're
The
red.
ribs, I had all the
Hurt so
pain
bad.
medication.
You had all the pain medication
Yes, I skipped through all the pain of the growing pains. It was so
because you're on
beautiful.
so much. That is
I mean, just beautiful. You couldn't ask any better.
right.
Just, okay, no pain.
That's
I'm
right
just-
out of a movie.
So you walked. Yeah. So you walked. You almost hit your head because you grew that. That's wild. Because
And
usually
especially for
you
for
get
men.
pain. You get pain in your knees.
I would get it in my ankles. Was that maybe that wasn't growing pains? I remember getting them in my ankle.
Really?
Yes, I never got them on my knees.
Yeah, I remember I would get because because I'm tall, and I remember growing really fast too. Not that fast, but I remember growing fast. I'd get it in my knees.
Yeah.
Your knees, maybe.
Yeah.
No, I had none of it. I had no pain whatsoever. I just
But it-
kept growing.
Gross.
My mom was like, what are we gonna do? Every year,
What are we gonna do?
every year that I got older, my shoe size became the same size as my age. So starting at age 9, I was a size 9, age 10 at 10, all the way through age 14, I was size 14. It stopped at 14 until after I played. I was a 14 all the way through my playing career, even in Spain. So I went 20 years of playing basketball, and I'm so happy it stopped at 14 because
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
it's hard enough to get some size 14.
I know.
Size 20? Come on.
Yeah, that's gonna be a lot.
Yes.
So after you had well, first of all, I want to talk about you getting getting drafted into the NBA.
Yes.
I want to hear about that. Like, how did that happen?
Well, sorry. Did you want to go to college first?
Oh, this is
We're going to back up?
That's
We're gonna
right.
back up to
Yeah,
college.
I was like, well, you took a few steps of all. What about college?
Sorry. Let's go back to college. Let's go back to college and then go back to that.
Back it up.
Because you know what? Because you told me a great story when we were at lunch the other day, but I'm excited to hear about that, but I don't want to talk about that yet. So, but
Okay. Let's go back to
College.
We're finishing high school now. And
Okay.
we are, I'm a senior. I'm a high school All-American. There's all the teams in the country are recruiting me. I got it down to 250 schools, and I didn't get it down.
What?
My high school coach, every letter, every phone call went to my high school coach. He says, this is going to be too much for you. You have to study. You're not the brightest in the world, so you just study. I'll take care of this part.
Well, thank goodness for your coach,
It was
because
so-
imagine those phone calls.
Those phone calls were horrible. One call got through. One call. And I'm like, and this is what I said. St. Mary's? What is St. Mary's? Where is St. Mary's? We're in California. I'm like, where? Moraga, California. St. Mary? I've never heard of you people. And here I am, just a couple hours from
Right.
St. Mary's.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
went to see my son play at St. Mary's
Uh-huh.
not too long ago. So that's the only phone call and letter that got to me.
Oh, okay.
I don't know who gave them my information, but I was on them like, no, I don't want to do this at all. My coach took care of it. He whittled it down to about 15 schools. So that these are good schools, and you'll have a good career any one of these. So let's go through those. We'll have all the coaches come into your home, and as the coaches visit, and they'll talk about their school, and we can make a decision from there. There was one guy, that was Rolly Massimino. He said something so different that I was like, whoa, he blew me away. And what he said was, and yes, we know that we're going to make sure that you graduate. You're going to graduate. We make that promise to your parents, not to you, to your parents, to you. This is my promise. I promise to be in your life, not for the next 4 years only, but the next 40 years or until I die. I will be in your life. You and I will be together. And I was like, wow, he's the only one that talked about past basketball at the school. And I was like, whoa. And my high school coach really wanted me to go to North Carolina. My dad wanted me to go to Georgetown. Mom wanted me to go to Holy Cross.
Yeah.
The school, all the kids in the school wanted me to go to Notre Dame. I didn't know where I wanted to go.
You didn't know.
The politicians wanted me to go to UConn. I was like, I don't know where I want to go. But the only thing that was in the back of my mind was what Rolly Massimino said to me. And it came down to the day that I, before, because we're waiting to know what North Carolina is going to do. North Carolina comes into the home and said, we love you. You're a high school All-American. We know you'll be a great basketball player for us, but we have a guy who's a freshman. He hasn't played a game yet. This is September. He hasn't played a game yet, but we think he's pretty good. If he's not what we think if he's not what we think he's going to be, then we'll be back in March and we will sign you right then and there. And that year, Georgetown played North Carolina for the championship, and Michael Jordan hit the game winner for North Carolina. And I got a call as soon as the game was over. A call came into my house, and it was the coach, Dean Smith. And he says, "Did you watch the game?" I said, "Yes." "Do you think you know who that freshman is?" I said, "Oh, Michael Jordan's going to be pretty good, coach. I think I know where I'm going to go from here."
Yeah.
And I said, "Congratulations, good luck." And right after that, we called Villanova and said, "I will attend Villanova University." Yeah, yeah. But
great.
the whole time, my bus was, wow, Massimino. That was really a big thing for me to hear.
Yeah, that's
Yeah, I mean-
I love that.
Yeah.
That's pretty neat. I like
Just
that.
with all the schools. And I mean, your coach, just from narrowing that down with how many calls I can't even imagine. It seems like you had so many supportive coaches just throughout your childhood. What did you have like a main mentor at all that you truly looked up to?
And really, what was shocking was how many people jumped in. As I said, one of my closest friends, his sister was the one that said, "You're not going to this public school."
Yeah.
And I was like, "I didn't know you liked me." If you like me enough, just tell me that. That was really, really a big one for me. And I told her years later, I said, it was you who really helped me go to St. Bernard's. And well, what did I do? "You told me not to go to the school that you went to." That was huge for me. And she said, "Wow, okay." And it was really powerful. But we had a lot of neighbors that were always watching out. I remember doing the stupidest things as a child. Right across the street was some wonderful neighbors that really took care of my parents in the latter days when they weren't doing well. And when I was young, just trying stuff. I actually had a bicycle, and I thought, okay, how cool would it be if I ride down this little small slope on the bike? I mean, standing on the bike. I'm standing on the bar.
On the bar.
Of the bike, and I'm rolling, and I start wobbling, and I fall off, and I fell into the stop sign.
Oh.
Well, the neighbor across the street is watching, and she's looking through the window, and I caught eyes when I went, "Don't tell."
What happened?
She never told anybody.
Oh, you didn't break anything.
I told the story at her funeral.
Oh, you
And they were like, "What? My mom kept that secret." I was like, "I don't know why she did. I guess because I look like such an idiot standing on top of the bar of the bicycle." But the neighbors were always around. So we had a lot of neighbors. But my parents were just awesome. My mom and stepdad were tremendous. They were just always there.
I love that.
And with me, it was, as I said, I only wanted to play. I wanted to play football, and I wanted to play basketball.
Yeah.
And as long as I got the grades, then I could do what I loved. And what I enjoyed doing was playing.
Yeah.
I had to shut down, get into high school. I had to shut down all the friends because the friends were getting in trouble. They were going to all the parties and
Yeah.
started drinking and staying out late and stealing car batteries.
Car battery.
Oh, car battery.
That is true. That is true. I believe it was one Halloween. I was driving, had mom's car, and the battery just died. And we're over by the naval base where my mom and dad both were.
Oh,
Dad was in the
okay.
Navy for
Okay.
20 years. He got out when he met my mom. My mom was at the commissary working in the produce department. So we're down the street from there. So the actual apartments that were near where my car stopped was the Navy base. And one of my friends says, "Oh, I know a friend here. We'll just borrow his battery
Borrow his-
and we'll bring it back tomorrow." So he goes, he pops the hood, he takes the battery
my
out. We're walking back to the
gosh.
car, and he screams, "Run! I don't know. I just took the battery. I don't know who's in it."
Oh no! So you took the battery out of
We
this car.
dropped the battery, and we're running. We're running because there's a cop there. The cop is the one that, "You guys need some help." And we're opening the door to get into the car.
Oh.
And come on, I'm 6'6", running.
They can see.
And I'm jumping over a big fence. Now, here's the problem. Just a couple weeks before that, 10 days before that, I'm riding a moped, and my little brother, he's 13 years younger, he's riding on the back with me. And first time I ever rode a moped, I'm like, oh, let me try it. And he gets on, I want to go with you. And I'm riding, and I turn, but I hit this patch of dirt. That's just dirt on the road, and I slid, and I couldn't stop it. So I had to put my knee down to stop the bike because it flipped over. My brother flies over my head, and my knee is...
You're 6'6".
I'm 6'6".
And he's probably 6'1".
He's
Oh, 13 years younger. He's a little kid.
He's just whatever, 2 years, whatever he is, 2, 3 years old. And my knee just goes into the ground and is sliding. I catch him before his head hits the ground. And he starts crying. I pick him up. I'm wiping the dirt off, but this knee is completely open. It just popped open. This flesh just...
And how old were you?
I was, whatever I was, well, I had to be 16. I was driving.
Gosh.
Gosh.
Oh, yeah, because
I had to be 16. So it's wide open. There's blood everywhere. There's dirt in it. And I go home. I can't hide this injury.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, let's go. They sewed me up. And that's when, right after that is when the battery situation. So it pops open again as I jump over the fence to get over.
It pops open.
Because we're on the fence.
I jump over.
Gosh, that makes my knees hurt.
So
Are you still able to play basketball?
from there, it was over for my friends. I just had to walk away from them until graduation, and that's a big lesson for any athlete, anybody who is looking at doing something. You gotta let go. That's for everybody. Just you gotta let go of anyone who is not going to do things the right way.
Yeah.
And I mean, I was just there, and I believed what they said, what he said. I know these people. We can take the battery, we'll bring it back. Oh, good. You gotta be careful with people, even your friends, even your friends. So I had to walk away. It was my decision, just not to participate in anything they were doing.
Yeah.
And
Good.
I would see them again and down the years when basketball was over, or at least high school.
That's pretty good for like a kid to think
realize
like
that.
to realize that.
Yeah, it
You know,
really
that is good.
Well, it was painful.
Yeah, yeah.
We chose Villanova,
Okay.
and prior to going to Villanova, see the coach that I had in high school, his words to me as a freshman before everything began, before I actually stepped on a court, he says, "There's 3 things I want you to do, and if you do these 3 things, you will make it. You will get a scholarship to play basketball, Division I." He said, "I promise you." He says, "First thing I want you to do is work your tail off in school." He says, "When everybody else is running around, you have free time, I want you in the library studying." Okay. He says, "No drugs and no alcohol. None whatsoever. And the third is leave the girls alone. No girls." Okay. He says, "I'll get to it later." But those 3 things, so, okay, I can do all those. I'm okay. I can do that. And so we go through the whole motion, and everything is gone. I get the scholarship. But there's a pretty little girl that likes me in school. And so when the season was over, my senior season was over, I spent a lot of time with that pretty girl. Yeah, it didn't go well. It really didn't go well. I went to school, and in my head, I did something so very wrong that I would never be forgiven. I would never be forgiven, and I thought that from the religious beliefs that was shoved in me, I thought I couldn't go to heaven because this happened. Okay. And so it really affected me my freshman year, where I had I may have had the worst freshman year in the history of freshman years.
Oh.
And
Okay.
I just could not make a shot. Now, the summertime, I went and played in this all-star thing with the incoming freshmen and the sophomores, and I blew the field away. There was only a couple guys better than me, Charles Barkley being one of them.
Okay.
But the rest of them, I was just destroying them. Like, this is going to be a great freshman year.
Okay.
But getting into the school, and my head just completely gone. It was a struggle all year. I came out of it starting the last 10 games of the season. I started the first 10. I asked coach, I said, I'm struggling. I hear the fans. I'm not playing the way I think I should be able to play. Take me out and I'll come off the bench. And so I came off the bench for about 10 games, and he came to me and says, you ready to start again? Okay, great. Let's try it. So I finished the year with the last 10 games starting and playing in the playoffs. We got kicked out of the playoff by a team that was nicknamed Fly Slamma Jamma, who had Akeem Olajuwon and Clyde Drexler on the team. They were stacked. They had about 6 or 7 guys that went into the NBA, and they just destroyed us. It was bad, but I had a decent game.
Yeah.
And so the next year, I just went back to the playground. I went back home, and I went to the park that I attended each and every day. For the time that I started playing basketball, I was at that park each and every day. Even with rain or snow, I was at the park. So I went back to the roots and got back. And
Back to the start to kind of get your
I had to get right.
back.
We go where you're comfortable.
Yes.
Go back where you're familiar, where it worked for you, and you just start from the beginning. And I did. I had to grind. So I ended up having a pretty good sophomore year. Things turned around, and averaged double digits, 13 points a game, and 8 rebounds, and the stats were really good. And
That just the community. It just seems like the basketball community. Everyone's like, "Oh, I played with your dad, and then now I see you playing, and then now your son." Like I can.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
incredible.
it's so funny because I needed an autograph from Steph. Somebody wanted one, and I don't know why I promised it. I'm like, it's hard to get. And I just sent him a letter, a note that said, I play. I sent him my NBA players card, and I
that's
wrote
cool.
in the note that
Yeah.
I was in the same draft with your dad. I knew him all the way through. I really could use this autograph, and he sent me a couple things back. So,
Oh,
that's
as you said, it's a
awesome.
small community, and
Yes.
normally they will assist you.
That's good.
As I need. Yeah, great guy.
Gosh, that'd be nice.
I am a huge Steph fan. Yeah, and I'm not a big fan of everybody, but there's certain people that I'm just a fan of, like Shedeur Sanders. I'm a Shedeur Sanders fan in football. I am a Steph Curry fan.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
It's
just
real
really
there.
appreciate those guys.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I feel like it just would be a true, just awesome guy.
Yeah.
Just just watching games and just like hearing like the interviews. I'm all, I feel like he's just an
Yeah.
awesome guy.
Yeah. Good.
I can just tell.
He wants to have fun, and he does it. He'll go night, and I'm like, that is so cool.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
wish I thought of it.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
I love when they bring their families.
Yeah. And
Oh,
his
I
wife
love
and all
that
his
part.
kids.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
I do
love
too.
that.
I just saw a photo of him, Steph, on the court as a little boy with his dad playing.
Oh, did you? That's
Was so awesome. So
Yeah.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah, when we were just in Tahoe, I keep bringing it up, but I walked by and I thought it was him. It wasn't. It was his brother. His brother looks a lot like
Oh,
him.
that's what you were saying. His brother looks a lot like.
Oh my gosh, so
Really?
much like
His
him.
brother played here a year.
Oh, really?
Uh-huh.
I didn't even know his brother even played.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was. I went, oh,
That's so cool.
yeah.
You're like, you look like him, but you're not.
You're
quite.
not. It was like, yeah,
Gotta be his brother.
yeah, yeah. I was like, whoa, that was
Yeah.
weird. So
Okay, we got to reel it back in.
okay, yeah, we're back in.
Yeah,
Okay,
we
we're
go.
back. We're back.
So I have a phenomenal senior year, in which, again, I wasn't even thinking NBA. So Massimino for the NBA draft, Coach Massimino from Dono would always have everybody just show up in his office for the draft. He would have the pizza and the food, everything that we needed to just enjoy the draft. So all of the players that I play with was sitting there, and the phone rings, and it is the Prez. It's for you to call me Prez, Harold Pressley Prez. Prez is for you. I'm like, who is it? Sacramento Kings. I'm like, King, what are you talking about? There is no Sacramento Kings. It's the Kansas City Kings. I'm like, no, there's Sacramento, you idiot. They moved a year ago. I'm like,
Oh, is that
what?
when they moved?
Yeah.
Right when they moved, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. Pick up the phone, and hi, this is Julie Phi from the Sacramento Kings. We are about to select you as the 17th pick for the Sacramento Kings in the draft. I'm like, I looked around to see who was messing with me. I'm like, okay, one of these guys are like, really? Yes. And sure enough, just before I'm holding the phone, and they announced that I have been drafted, and my whole team is just jumping on me, and everybody's shouting, and it's so cool. And I dropped the phone, and I pick it back up, and they're like, we're gonna have some media call you, but we need you here tomorrow. And I'm like, okay, I will be there tomorrow. And I jump on the plane. I land here. I look around. As we're coming into Sacramento, it was empty. And you wouldn't remember it, but you would remember that when I got here at 86, there's nothing around there.
It was like it was
The
just
homeless
fields.
was empty. There was only one road in. You had the highway, but you had only one road to get from the arena anywhere. And I'm like, this is really tiny. It's small downtown. Like, okay, let's
Oh,
go see
because
the
the
people.
old arena was
The
by
old arena.
the
Yeah.
airport.
It was
Yeah.
Arco Arena.
Arco Arena was by the airport.
Arco 1. You probably saw Arco 2.
Yeah, I
Arco
remember
1 was a
as kid.
10,000 seat arena, little box off of
yeah.
Northgate. Yeah, tiny thing, but the loudest arena in the NBA. It was absolutely wonderful to play there. And
Yeah, it was the loudest.
Yeah, that's what my dad would say.
yeah,
It was
Yeah.
it was
loud.
outstanding to play in. It was just so cool. Well, anyways, I get off the plane. I meet the whole Kings department. I go shake everybody's hand, and there is a media. I have to do the interviews, and then they say, okay, we have something set up where you just got to go to a store and you got to sign some autographs for the fans. And they took me over to, I think it was Dick's Sporting Goods or whatever Sporting Goods was around here at that time. And the first person that I meet, his name is Sean Rogers. Sean Rogers, he had just got cut from the 49ers. And his roommate, and the year before, he got cut the year before, his roommate was Jerry Rice.
Oh, that's
And so they became extremely close friends. And Sean and I became really good friends because I gave him my number. So I'm coming back. And he said, hey, you come back, I will cook you a dinner. I'm like, I can't cook.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
going to
great.
take you up.
Yeah, that's great.
So Sean ended up cooking me a pregame meal the entire year for my rookie season. It's like, you're really messing up. What are we going to do? So I thought, I'm hungry. How many peanut butter and jelly sandwiches and pizza can you eat before a game?
Yeah.
Let me cook you a real meal. I said, well, at Villanova, we used to have pasta and steak. It's done. And he just kept cooking and cooking. And yeah, it's great. Great guy. I'm still really close friends with him. Years later, up until just a couple months ago, Sean became a police officer the same year that I started playing with the Kings. He became a police officer. He calls me. He says, Harold, I'm stationed in Del Paso Heights over there by Grant High School. He says, I'm so scared. This is scary. So,
Yeah.
man,
Oh, yeah.
That's scary.
but I want to take you on a ride. Whoa, it's scary.
Yeah.
Why would you? I go out with him.
That's
I'm
right.
like, okay, it is pretty scary. But so he did that for years, and then he calls me up and says, I'm going for the King's security position. So he got that the last 6, 7, 8, whatever years, and he just retired from that. I said, well, hold it. You spent more time with the Kings than I did.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? He said that. I'm just done. I don't even know why we got off of that. Let's get back to basketball.
yeah.
Sorry.
That's okay.
Oh, the reason was because when I got back on the plane to go back to Philadelphia, I was only here for 2 days. When I got back on the plane to leave, I turned around and said, I'm going to live here forever. I said, the people are so wonderful. Sean was one of those people that was so wonderful. But a great place to live.
So you really felt that.
I knew I was going to stay.
From the moment.
I actually said it before stepping back on the plane with you.
You were like, this is my home.
I'm going to be here. And shortly after I met who was going to be my wife, and I even went over to see her on her 21st birthday. I'm like, hold it, I met you at the club. You had to be 21 to get in the club.
Like, what's up? What wait, what happened? Wait.
Hey.
And it was here, and it was in Sacramento.
Yeah, it was a little place called Confetti's. Right next to Chuck E. Cheese's at the time.
Yes, I know.
Do you remember?
That. I do. Yeah, so it was Confetti's, and then it changed to the Yucatan Liquor Stand. Yes, I went there.
Yes. So the first night I met her, after we got together for a while, I said, I'm worried about your taste because I was falling down drunk when I met you. You got bad taste. I don't know if I can marry you.
You got bad taste.
And so is that your wife today?
That's my wife today. Yeah.
How long? How many years?
Yeah, 32 years.
32 years.
Sorry, 32 years.
That's amazing. That is amazing.
She put up with a lot. I'm a lot. But she says that her words are, you have been consistent. Your attitude is always up.
You're just positive.
I've had very few down days, in my entire life. Because life is too short to have a bad day.
Gosh, I love that.
I love that.
That's what I love that.
Why
I've heard that about you.
It's too short. You got
Yeah.
life doesn't laugh. There's so much. There's help in laughter.
Yes.
Laughter is good medicine.
Yes.
So you should always laugh. Okay, let's go. So
Yeah.
now we get
So
through.
you're-
I'm a rookie. I'm having a great rookie preseason. And I'm playing really well. And the coach tells me I don't play rookies. I'm like, ouch, ouch. So I didn't play the very first game, which was on the road against the Clippers. Not 1 minute. And I'm like, we're losing. Put me in. And he would not put me in. And after the game, he said, I don't play rookies. I'm like, ooh, I don't think you're going to last long.
And is that
That's what I
normal?
thought.
Is that normal to not play
No,
rookies?
the Cleveland Cavaliers was playing all rookies.
Yeah.
I'm like, what is going on? Those are my friends.
Yeah,
The guys that I grew up with and played against the whole time. Like,
Yeah.
they're playing.
Yeah.
I want to play. I don't play rookies. So, but
Who was it?
Phil Johnson, Phil Jackson, but Phil Johnson.
Johnson. Okay.
He ended up.
He was only there for a short time.
I'm going to tell you, he coached
Yeah.
that first year, 85, and my year was 86. And he played me the second game at home. I think he was just pressured into playing me, and I had an outstanding game. So I'm thinking, yeah, you got to play me now. Well, he didn't. I think about 17 games go by, and I don't play. I was like, oh no, what's going on? I'm getting out of shape because you don't get to practice. Because there's so many games in a week that you just don't have the time to practice. The guys who are playing has to rest their legs, and we only had 12 guys, and usually there was 2 guys hurt. So, and you're resting the other guys, who do you get to practice against? So I was getting out of shape, and we finally get through, and Bill got fired. I was on that team that was down 42-4 after the first quarter against the Lakers down in LA. We were the first quarter. At the end of the first quarter, the score was 42 to Lakers to 4 points for the Kings. And if it wasn't for 4 free throws, we would have had zip.
He just got such a good memory.
Yeah, this
No,
I remember that was
you
phenomenal.
remember the bad things. It's the good things that you have problem with. Like with me, I remember playing football. We lost an 8th grade championship because I missed a tackle. I was sat there on the ground. I was so tired from what we did before the game started. Our bus broke down. So we were running and playing and having all this fun. And come game times, our legs were gone. And I remember I missed a tackle. And I sat there and I watched the guy go all the way into the end zone. And I thought, it still haunts me that I missed that tackle.
I can read. Yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
Well, think about
Yeah,
it. That's
I guess so. Yeah.
So with basketball, it is, you do remember some of the good stuff, but you definitely remember the bad stuff. I remember all the times that I got dunked on, whether it was Michael Jordan or whoever it was.
Yeah.
I remember those things
Yeah.
because my friends won't let it down. My friends like, you got those.
Still bringing it up till this day.
Yeah.
Yeah. In any case, I ended up playing quite a bit my rookie year here in Sacramento. I remember that because I got bonus money for playing a certain amount of minutes, and I made that bonus money, and that bonus money was added to my next year's contract. So I'm like, well, this is cool. This is pretty
I didn't
cool.
know how.
Neither did I.
Yeah.
Okay.
And and that's how my contract was set up. So that was awesome. So I got a little extra money for the next year. The following year was my better year. I actually played so well that I had 1 week that I was the NBA Player of the Week, and that was the entire league. Before they split the West and the East Coast, I was a player. I beat out Michael Jordan, Clyde Drexler, and Charles Barkley to be the Player of the Week.
Wow.
And I was like, well, all right, all right. So I just assumed that thing was going to just fly. Uh, and unfortunately, the next draft was Ricky Berry. Ricky Berry and I became really close. I would hang out with him more than anybody else. You know, he was a young kid out of college from San Jose, played for his dad. His dad was on the coaching staff. And we just had a decent year, he and I, towards the end of the year, just shooting from the 3-point line. We had a great time along with Vinny Del Negro and Kenny Smith, Danny Ainge. We were just shooting the lights out. So we had a style. But that summer, he shot himself. So he died. And it just destroyed the whole team and destroyed the style. And we really struggled going into my final year. And, you know, some depression set in, and they got rid of Derek Smith, who I also was extremely close to. Got rid of Ed Pickney, who I was extremely close to. It was a tough year. I ended up getting injured. I sprained my ankle severely. I got clothesline in Charlotte. I believe that was their first year there, and I was rushed to the hospital. I had severe back spasms, and I was just out of alignment, so I could never get on track. And the coach that they brought in was Dick Mata, and he and I just didn't. It wasn't there, so he didn't play me, and I was also injured. So so it was just a rough final year. And for me, it was, I wanted to play basketball. Yeah, I wanted to be on a good team.
Yeah.
And the opportunity came up to play in Spain. And the team that I was going to play on had 3 Olympians on the team. So it was a great team. And I would be able to play in the European Cup and all that kind of stuff. And just get back to the winning and get back to enjoying basketball, because my final year with the Kings, the passion it drifted away.
Yeah.
It was time to go do something new.
Yeah. Okay. That's what I was. That's what I was trying to find. What happened in that final year? I needed to find where's that disconnect. So that you answered that question for me.
It was a struggle.
Okay.
But I got over there, and my thoughts was, okay, I'm going to play 1 year and I'm going back to the NBA. And I got the love of the game back over there. It was so much fun. I was rolling. And the team, we were 17-0. We won 17 straight games. And the GM comes to me and says, Harold, we're just not getting enough out of you. Like, well, I'm second in scoring. I'm averaging over 20 points a game.
What do you want from me?
What else?
Second in rebounds.
Yeah.
I am second in steals. I am first in block shots at 6'8". And we had 3 7-footers on the team.
So what?
And
so-
I got a little upset, and I go back to my place that they have for me, and I'm laying down there and I'm thinking about it, and I actually said, he's right. My thoughts are, when am I getting back to the NBA, rather than enjoy where you are, love where you are until you are where you love. Did play in the European Cup game, and because I had a hurt thumb, I didn't practice for a full month, so I was kind of out of shape. But we got to the finals, and we were playing against Croatia, and they hit a fall away 3-point shot to put them up, and we lost the championship game of the European Cup for that. And my contract was over, and I went to France, and I just didn't like France. So France and I went late.
Yeah.
to let
People are rude in France.
my contract, I didn't have a contract. So I got a late contract. Somebody got injured and I replaced them. And I just never connected with that team. And again, I got injured and I went home early and I couldn't recover. I had to have surgery on the meniscus on both knees.
Oh, okay.
And I could never recover from that. So it was over for me at that point. I came back home. I was hoping to get back to playing basketball, but I got a call from my college coach, Rolly Massimino. I said, I'm taking a job at Cleveland State University and I want you to be one of my assistant coaches.
And did you do that?
I did. I went to Cleveland, and when I got there, I said, Coach, I'm going to stay here until we have a winning program. As long as we do not have a loser, I will not leave you with a loser program. And so the first year, when I got there, they were one win for the whole season, and it was like 1-26. It's like, ooh, we got a long way to go, and we got it to the next season. 9 and whatever 18, and then the third season I was there, we were 15-15, and I walk over to coach and said, Coach, you don't have a losing season. I got to go back to Sacramento. My wife was pregnant with our last child, and so we had the kids all under 6 years old, and she was alone in Cleveland, a place that she's never been. The rain, the snow, the sleet in Cleveland is so horrible that she never got outdoors. That was always dark and dreary.
Oh yeah, she's like, I need to go back to sunshine.
And she didn't say a word. I just looked at it and I was like, I can't do this to you. And I said, we're going home. And so they came back in 1999. The Kings had just drafted. They had a really good team that year. They had Chris Webber, and
I remember that.
oh yeah, they had.
That's when I had season tickets.
They drafted Jason Williams, and they put the team together, and it was fun. So
And Bloody,
Bloody.
Yeah.
When I came back, I didn't have a job. I didn't have the job, and the Kings were rolling so well that there wasn't any openings there either.
Yeah.
So I don't know what I'm gonna do. I fell back into helping my nonprofit that I started in '95 before I left to go to Cleveland. And so I just helped out there, and we started doing fundraisers there, and getting presents for the kids, and having them go to Disneyland, just whatever we could do to make the kids happy. There were 6 kids in the home, and we just wanted to, the nonprofit's called Treat Them Like a King. Treat them like a king. And that's why I said, well, you got to treat them like they're kings, like they're Sacramento Kings, and just love them.
That's great.
And we did so much for the kids. And
Do you still have that?
I still have the actual name, but I haven't done anything with it for the last couple of years.
Yeah.
And I'm dancing around on what we're going to do with it. But in any case, we had that for years. And the gal who was actually loving on the kids, she wanted to have kids of her own. So we really shut everything down and just pushed it to the side for a while. But it was a great run. I still wasn't working.
Yeah.
And somebody asked me to come on radio.
Yeah.
You're not busy. Can you do radio every Saturday for the rest of the year? I'm like,
Yeah.
no pay? Well, we can't pay you anything. We're just you know what?
Gives you something to do.
I got nothing to do. I'll be there. And I did every Saturday. We just had a radio talk show every Saturday afternoon. And the guy who asked me to do it, he got a call. He was in the banking industry. He got a call from Sierra Central Credit Union. He became the CEO of Sierra Central Credit Union. And then he calls me and says, hey, by the way, do you know who the spokesperson for the credit union is now? Well, I hope it's me, because I still don't have a job. He said, it is you. I got a salary. I got this. I got benefits. You are our spokesperson. So I did that. And a couple of years later, he says to me,
so cool.
Harold, we need help with the credit unions. What do you need? He says, we need somebody to sell the cars. Would you start a car dealership and sell our cars for us? I'm like, I never did it, but I'll figure it out. And I will do it. I got a buddy together, Frank Sim, and I said, Frank, you're a business guy. That's what I need. I need a business guy, because we'll get into the doors. We got the cars there, all the repos. We get to sell them. And we don't even have to sell them to individuals. We can actually sell them at the auction. So it's not going to be too difficult.
Yes.
He's like, I'm in. I'm in. So we did that for about 14 years of what's called Pressley Motors. And we had a nice long run with that.
Wow.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Something completely
know.
different that
It's
you're
just
all
blowing my
all
mind.
figure it
You've
out.
done so- I love this. It's great.
We did. Frank was a business guy, so he wanted to get into some real estate stuff, so we dabbled in that, and it didn't turn out well because one of the guys that we jumped in with, it turned out to be a Ponzi scheme, and so we lost some money there. But after that, I'm like, okay, I'm done with the cars, and the nonprofit is closed.
Yeah.
What am I doing now? And I walked into a basketball facility out in Rockland called Hardwood Palace.
Yes.
And I'm like, that is beautiful. 8 basketball courts. I'm like, that is beautiful. This is the place. And I walk up to the guy who was running at the time and said, you need some help here? Because it's basketball and I miss basketball.
Yeah.
He says, no, I don't need any help. I walk out. About 3 months later, a guy named Royce Browning, my son Bryce, is now playing AAU, and we walk back into that building, and Royce runs over to me and says, I've been looking all over for you. He used to run over on the Rancho Cordova. There was a 5-court basketball place called Basketball Town, and Royce used to run that. And one day he says, what are you doing? I said, I'm not doing anything. I said, I'm not doing anything. What do you need? He says, I need some help around here. Tell me what you need. He says, I don't know. How do we make money here? And I'm looking around and said, you know, you got a lot of kids here. You got an empty court. Why don't you throw birthday parties? He says, would you do that? So, yeah, I'll do it. I started throwing birthday parties for kids, basketball parties for kids at Basketball Town. Well, I started working for the Kings for a little bit, and that got shut down because of there was a guy in town who was going business to business trying to get money for the ADA. So he would have his wheelchair, he would point out to him and say,
Oh, yeah,
we know about
we've
this
heard
guy.
about that, yeah.
So he had to close down.
Yeah. That's sad.
Close down Basketball Town.
Oh.
And so I'm like, okay. Well, he gets to the owner of Hardwood Palace, and he takes over Hardwood Palace. So when I walk in the door, I've been looking all over for you. I want you to help me here. And I'm like, yes, I'm in. I can do.
So Hardwood Palace.
So Hardwood Palace, we started building Hardwood Palace. And it was going tremendous. But the cafeteria at Hardwood, the people just weren't feeding the people right. And we're just like, you interested? Would you take over the cafeteria? I'm like, okay, let's go. I got a wife. I got a father-in-law. I have kids. And I have a mother-in-law who is Italian that knows how to cook. My wife can really cook. I'm like, let's do it. So I get the whole family together, and we're going to run the cafeteria over at Hardwood Palace. And my father-in-law is in his 80s at the time.
Yeah.
And my mother-in-law also right in that age range. And we just take over, and my wife's like, I'm not feeding these people. They're kids. They need good food. So she changed the menu. She puts 14 different type of salads on the menu. We got tri-tip, and we got pulled pork, and we had, people are just like, we don't have to leave. We can eat here. We actually had other businesses coming over to eat our food. They're like, this is tremendous. The food is outstanding. We also had the pizza and the hot dogs, but people really wanted the good stuff. And so the menu, we put pictures of everything over the walls, and they're like, this is tremendous. And it was just fire. We did that.
Do you still have it?
COVID came. So mom and dad are not doing well. So I believe it was 2011, 2012. I moved them, 2011. I moved them here to California. My sister calls and says they can't live here anymore. They can't walk. In the winters, it's ice. Mom has a ankle that's swollen. She broke in a supermarket. She slipped on a cherry seed and she broke her ankle, and it's just huge. And now all the other health stuff started coming in. My dad had COPD.
COPD. Breathing.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes. So he had that. He had a little oxygen. But you gotta move. So we moved him out here, in the Natomas area. I live in Citrus Heights, and we're like, okay, I'm going back and forth, and my dad says to me, stepdad, of course, he says, he told me, Slim, I want a house. You want a house? You're too old for a house. You can't maintain a house. What are you talking about? You can barely walk. And he says, Slim, I want a house. And it hit me that he moved into our house that my mom and my biological dad bought together. So his name was never on the title. He wanted his own house. And
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, we got to get you a house. So I'm looking around. I'm like, I'm driving way too far back and forth each day, 2, 3, 4 times a day to Natomas from where it's a half-hour drive.
Yeah.
We got to get you a house right next to me. A house comes up. 2 houses not far from me. One is about a 4-minute walk. The other is about a 8-10 minute walk. But the 4-minute walk is a beautiful house. They just want more money. Now he's a Navy guy, so he can do a Navy credit union. He can actually get a loan through the Navy, but they have a limit on there, $340,000. The lady is asking $380,000. And my brother is a real estate agent. He says it's not going to happen. Forget about that house. Let's look at the other house. I look at I don't like this other house. I like that house. He says the lady's never going to sell to you for that price. Okay. I go and I knock on her door. I said, listen, my parents are here. I need a house. I really like this house. I live right around the corner. She says, well, I can't sell it to you for $340,000. I'm going to lose money on getting a divorce, and we need all the money we can get. And 2 days later, she calls me and says, I want your mom to have the house. I'll take that price. I'm like, what? So
that's
we
awesome.
moved my parents in right around the corner. We could walk to them each and every day. We were taking cruises, and we were going to see my son play basketball and my daughter play volleyball, and they're traveling with. They get so tired, they just can't do it anymore. And my dad says, this is the last cruise. This is the last time I'm going on a trip with you guys. And they just got to that point. COVID, Council. Just before COVID, well, it actually was COVID. I had this dream, early September of 2019. And I have a friend who interprets dreams, and he says, you're about to leave Hardwood Palace. You won't be there anymore. And I'm like, what? And I knew a couple other dreams that he had came true, so I'm believing him.
You have a friend that interprets dreams.
Yeah.
That's neat.
I know.
Yeah.
I have real vivid dreams. Anyway, go ahead.
We're going to do that, okay? We get that done. In any case, there was a couple dreams that happened for that let me know that it's true, that whatever the interpretation is, it's going to. So I knew that eventually I was going to leave. My wife was, I'm still at Hardwood Palace. It's September, and we're in 2019. COVID hasn't hit. It was just on this way. And my wife was like, Harold, you're walking around here like you think that we're going to leave here. I know you had a dream, but none of us believe that we're going to leave Hardwood.
Yeah.
I'm doing everything it's kind of like when I was in Spain my first year.
Yeah.
I'm doing everything
Yeah.
that I'm supposed to do. But she could see that something left, that it was going to be time to go. So,
Yeah.
well, my mom is turning 80 in December 11th, 2019. And she says to me, Harold, I want everybody to come to my birthday party. I'm going to give everybody a gift who comes to my birthday party. So you do know that your birthday, you're supposed to get a gift.
Gifts.
So no, that's not going to happen. Everybody who comes is going to get a gift.
Yeah.
Just get the list together. Call all the friends and family from all over the country. And we had about 82 people show up from all over the country for the birthday party.
Cool.
In Hardwood, there's one room. Now in the winter, there's only one room that has heat, and it's like the party room. And so I put her in there, and I put all the presents that she ordered for everybody. She's got a name on every one of them. She's got extra presents. So she actually is sitting there with her little Santa hat on. December 11th. And everybody goes in one by one, and she's handing them a present and thanking them for just being a friend or a family for life. And I so appreciate everything that you guys, and they're so happy. We take the big photos, and it's a beautiful time. There's people that are in it. It's still basketball season. People are practicing around, and they come up, and we got the table spread out with all the food.
Oh, that's so
and
cool.
people are just coming up and like, can we have some food? And my father-in-law, now he's older at this time, he says, Harold, the people would like to have food. What do? I said, well, see if they want a drink also, and give them a piece of cake too. And he's like, what? They're not with us. I'm like, yeah, give it to them.
Yeah.
People love them. And he's like, what? And so later on, about a week later, he says, now I know you practice what you preach. That you do love people, don't you? We're supposed to love.
Yeah.
It's easy to love them when you just love.
That's incredible.
I know.
That was so beautiful, not for him, because it changed his whole attitude.
Yes.
And he just started to love even more, because he always liked people, but he started to love people. And it was so cool. But my mom, that was the last month that she was healthy enough to do anything. The next month, January, she had a break up in her spinal area. She fractured one of the bones up there. And it went all the way down her back, month after month after month, and she died September 2020. And
I'm sorry.
about 8 months later, my dad passed away as well. So we left in March of 2020 when COVID was at its finest, when everything had to shut down.
Okay.
And that was a sign that the interpretation was, he's going to show you a sign.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
you're going to know that it's time to go. Well, you can't get any
Yeah.
bigger sign than everything.
Yeah,
Everything
right.
went shut
Honestly.
down. The
Yeah.
dream was, just to give you back up and
Yeah.
give you the dream itself was, I was trying to get into hardwood and it was dark. Everything was dark. The light was off. I'm like, I couldn't, the key wouldn't work.
Yeah.
Nothing would work.
Yeah.
I go to the next
Yeah.
door and I'm shaking that door and the lights are off and nobody's in there. I go to another building. I kept going to all the businesses around and nobody was open. I'm like, what is going on?
What's going
The
on?
interpretation was, you're about to leave hardwood. And well, everybody else is,
It was-
I was about to leave.
Yeah.
hardwood.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's, I believe
Just with the dreams, I mean, wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really powerful. Because I mean, I've always thought about, just certain very vivid dreams. I'm like, what does this even mean? So I
Yeah.
never even knew that there was a dream
Yeah.
interpreter. That
Oh yeah.
I didn't even.
Oh, there's
know that
dream
was-
there's dream books and stuff like that too.
Oh, I think I heard about the dream book. So I guess that does make sense with the.
There are people that he has set in place to interpret the dreams. Yeah. So, because he has to ask questions. And when he asks a question, because he don't know that the interpretation, he's hearing. And he will ask a question, and the next question would give him the answer of the dream.
I have a question for you.
Please.
So, how is it? So, is it different from playing in the European League versus the NBA?
Yeah, there's a few rules that
Okay.
are different. Like you can actually go up when the ball is on the rim. You can actually tap it out or tap it in. That's one rule.
Oh,
The
okay.
lane was wider, but the NBA widened lanes as well.
Okay.
There are just little bitty rules that they call a lot more travel that I had to figure out my first year because I kept like, why do you go and travel? We do this in the NBA.
Yeah.
Well, in the NBA, you catch the ball, you take a couple of steps, they don't care.
Yeah,
but over
but
there,
no.
you catch, you got to put it down. And I'm like, you keep calling travel, I'm not traveling. And I look at the film, I'm like, oh, I'm traveling.
Oh wow! So it's
Okay.
just those little.
Little things.
So it was
little
easy for that transition when you went over to the European League.
The only problem that I had was they, being in Sacramento, we never practiced during the season. Over in Europe, you practice twice a day, every day. The only day you didn't practice twice was on a game day. You practice once in the morning, but they would go hard. So that's why my knees couldn't take it. It was too much on their courts. I'm like, guys, I remember I got sick. You can't drink the water in Spain.
Yeah.
So brushing your teeth, if you brush, and I brush my teeth 3 times a day, so I had water going down. I would get sick every year, probably the second or third week while I was there. I would get the, what they call Montezuma revenge. I would get that where I would have to just go to bed. I had to have shade down. I would have these sinus issues, and it was awful. So I remember that happened to me, and I couldn't play for 3 games. I'm sorry, I couldn't practice for 3 days. But the game came and the coach said, well, I can't start you. You haven't practiced this week. I don't care. Well, just bring me off the bench. And by the end of the game, I didn't play the first 9 minutes, and I probably didn't play the last 7 minutes of the game. But I ended up with 38 points, 22 rebounds. And the coach's like, "Oh, what just happened? How come you don't play it?" I said, "My legs are rested. We didn't practice twice a day. We're not used to that. Why do you practice so much?" He said, "That's just what we do in Europe." I'm like,
Wow.
"Well, it's dumb."
Yeah,
Yeah.
because you're used to how the NBA is, where you guys don't practice,
don't-
so you're
your
rested.
legs are strong. You got
Wow.
en-
So
energy.
Yeah.
You guys are probably shocked.
I caught
Yeah.
alley-oop dunked backwards, and they're like, "What got into Harold? Rest got into Harold. When are we gonna rest?"
Right.
Wow.
Right.
That's awesome. Well,
Did you want to do the? You do your. You flip it.
yeah, it's okay. I can just do it by
Big memory.
by memory.
Okay.
I'm young enough to remember.
Oh wow.
Even though you
Okay.
wrote it, now I'm kidding.
Okay.
Wow. Well, I just want to say thank you so much
I want
for.
to say thank you, because this is fun, and again, I'm unemployed, so I got time.
I love it.
You know what I'm